Let's say you had an option to choose one player to star as your mid laner for your fantasy team. Who would you choose? I give you 3 options. The first option is Evil Genius's SUMAIL. The second option is OG TOPSON. And the third is FNATIC's ABED. Now who do you choose? Basically, the point of this video is to make your Dota mind ponder a bit. Perhaps play a little game along with me. Before you choose, let me give you a little background about each of the players. And in the end, you can comment below who you choose. Let me start off with Evil Genius's SUMAIL. He is known to be a prodigy. He really is the definition of a true mid laner. He focuses on his lane despite everything that's going on in the whole team. He can win the lane even if the hero that he stacked up against is clearly the favorite. He manages to equalize the last hits and somehow mostly wins his lane. However, SUMAIL is sometimes too risky of a player. And will you make your team around him? You see, in TI8 we got to see SUMAIL shine, but at key moments he would cause the team to do bad. Like, for example, this case where he was a crazy carry. He was taking control of the game with a clear dominant force with Tiny. However, he got a little out of control and started tossing RTZ into the enemy tier 4 towers. And because he did that, eventually the goal deficit caught up. And then Evil Geniuses would lose to OG Spectre, which some argue to be one of the biggest comebacks ever. It also showed an indication that OG was a dominant force in the international. So SUMAIL has positives and negatives. Would you want him to be your star mid laner? So the second option is none other than OG's TOPSON. Would you want a mid laner that's full of unpredictability? Someone that chooses a Monkey King mid or a Invoker Quas Rex with a Meteor Hammer? Someone that's clearly a different style of player. A player that really picks heroes based on what he feels like he should. Now, as a teammate, you might say, hey, there's positives and negatives. One is that, yeah, unpredictability wins the tournament. But the second part is that, hey man, how would I know how to play my heroes based on that? I really don't know what this guy's thinking. So that's another thing that you want to take into consideration if you want OG TOPSON. Yes, he won TI8, but then you don't know what he's gonna do. Some games he will fail, but you have to accept that. While in other games he will dominate in a way that you never even thought was possible. That's the good and bad part of OG TOPSON. Now we have 2 options so far already, right? It's up to you to choose who you want. Evil Genius's SUMAIL or OG TOPSON. The third option I gave you is FNATIC's ABED. Now, a lot of Southeast Asian fans will choose ABED. Why? Because he's the highest MMR player. Why? Because he is a very flashy playstyle with a repertoire of heroes. He is the best Nepo player ever. He is a pub king. But the down part is that he lacks professional experience. He lacks experience on the big stages. And because he lacks experience, he tends to get a little nervous and tends to play poorly. Or perhaps ABED's lack of success in the pro scene comes due to the fact that he's surrounded by bad teammates. Like for example, last TI8, ABED was led by a captain named Eternal Envy. And when you have Eternal Envy on your team, things always go bizarre. Now, who would you form your team around? Will it be the highest MMR player? Or will it be SUMAIL, who some say is not as good as he once was? Or will you take the new prodigy, OG TOPSON? Make sure you guys leave a comment below on who you choose to be your mid laner for your fantasy team. Until next time, this is Crystal's Dota. I'm out.